Hello, Commander. The war continues.
We are super excited to be bringing Enemy Within to the forefront now. Enemy Within is an expansion to Enemy Unknown. We're building on top of the framework that Enemy Unknown was. So it's still within the same timeline of Enemy Unknown. It's the same invasion, but in typical Firaxis fashion, we're layering all these different systems and elements on top of it. So some of the things you saw on the demo are related to the tactical elements that we're adding. We have new things like mechs, these giant robots, which are always awesome to add into a video game. You can't go wrong there. But players can now build their own mechs. They can also genetically modify their soldiers to give them these one-off, almost superhuman abilities where they can now leap buildings in a single bound. They can see into the fog of war with abilities called bioelectric skin. They can turn invisible. So there's a lot of cool things that players can now do to tap into their soldiers and make them even more awesome.
We now believe another force is at work against us.
You know, we wanted to give the players these new toys and let them have a lot of fun, but we certainly needed to keep the challenge of XCOM, which is one of the main pillars. So you have to be well aware of that difficulty curve. So of course we gave the aliens some new toys to play with as well. You may remember the Sectoid. He's a nice little gentle, frail alien from Enemy Unknown. Well, he's getting some vengeance by now putting himself in big robotic suits himself. This is the Mechtoid. So you will now see these guys as you play through Enemy Within. You're going to build your own power suits. Aliens have their own now as well. There is additional aliens that we revealed yesterday. There is a new alien called the Seeker, which can actually go into full stealth mode and turn invisible on you. So you don't know where they're at. If you leave soldiers off by themselves, put a sniper on a perch, he may get strangled by a Seeker. So you really have to watch out for these new terrifying baddies. And there's a lot of new things that happen throughout the game that we're not talking about yet that really deal with that difficulty curve. There's a lot of new counters that the player can do to do cool things like that. So the Sectoid Commander, it was terrifying when you would get mind controlled in Enemy Unknown. Now you can counter that by augmenting your brain. You can also genetically modify your skin, your chest, your eyes, and your legs. My favorite choice is on the skin. I mentioned bioelectric skin, where you can see in the fog of war, or you can choose to mimetic skin, which if you're in high cover, your soldier will be completely invisible. So it's awesome stuff like that that will really put your soldiers over the top, and it really taps into the Enemy Within theme. You're not just reverse engineering plasma weapons and laser weapons. You're now taking the stuff that aliens are made of and inserting it within your own soldiers. You're still playing the same timeline, the same story. So there's the bookend of the aliens are invading Earth through the temple ship, but there are changes throughout the story as you go through. The player will get more cinematics depending on what choices they make on the research level. And again, there's some things we're not talking about yet, story related. XCOM Enemy Within will be dropping on November 12th, 2013 on PC, Mac, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3.